Hi everyone, so today I wanted to show you guys how I make headbands for my dolls. So basically, really sturdy, decorative headbands that kind of look like crowns. I have quite a few that I've already made that I have pictures of on my Flickr account. I'll link that below. It's in the arts and crafts album. I have a bunch of different crowns and flower things that I've made for my dolls, as well as little clips. Obviously there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. You can make them really simple, you can make them really ornate, but I thought I would show you guys since my Odette doll here is kind of a sad looking doll. She's got some paint scuffs and her hair is not in the nicest condition, and the outfit that I got her on eBay isn't in the best condition either. It's kind of seen better days. So I want to make her a nice headpiece that will really spruce her up. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. Hopefully you guys will get some ideas on how you can make hair stuff for your dolls. So these are the supplies that you're going to need. Really basic. So scissors, pliers, wire cutters, some kind of wire. This is florist wire that I got at Walmart, but really you can get wire from anywhere. I've even gotten some wire like with packaging and I've saved that. I have some ribbon here and whatever kinds of decorations you want. So I have little like cloth flowers and some pearl beads, but you could use sequins, charms, whatever kinds of things inspire you. And then of course a hot glue gun with some glue sticks. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to measure the size of the headband on the doll. I'm just going to take my wire and, leaving a little bit extra, go from like ear to ear, and then I'm going to double up on this measurement. So I'm just going to like literally fold my wire over, and where that ends is where I'm going to trim it with the wire cutters. So now you're going to have like a pretty long piece of wire. And what you're going to do next is you're going to fold the wire in half, and you can either, if you want a flatter, thicker headband, you can connect the two ends together. But what I'm going to do for Odette is I'm going to twist this to make it kind of thicker and sturdier. And then at the very end you're going to have these pokey bits of wire. So you're going to take those pokey bits of wire and you're going to loop them in and tuck them so that they don't poke your doll. And then you should be left with this kind of funny looking piece of wire. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this looped piece of wire and you're going to kind of shape it around your doll's head. So you want it to be in like a half circle shape. And then you can kind of use your pliers to adjust. It doesn't need to be perfect because obviously it's wire, so the idea is that you'll be able to kind of bend it and adjust it as you need it. So if the doll you want it tighter on the doll, you can squinch it in, and if you want it looser, you can pull it apart. So then for this next bit, we're going to wrap ribbon around the wire. So I'm going to use gold to accent the gold on Odette's dress. And basically, I'm just going to glue and start wrapping around like so. I'm going to put glue on the end here, and then really quickly before it dries, I'm going to start wrapping. And then I'm going to put it on the underside of the ribbon. And how many times you loop the ribbon around will determine how thick the headband is, so it really just depends on what you want, what you're looking for. I want this to be on the thicker side, so I'm going to wrap it around a few times. And obviously, you might run out of your piece of ribbon, so you can always go back if you run out and just start another piece. And basically, I'm just going to keep doing this until it's all done. So you should now be left, once you've finished wrapping it up, with something that looks kind of like this. I made Odette's really thick because I want it to almost look like a crown. But you could wrap less ribbon around here to make it a little thinner. now comes the easy fun part, and that is adding the embellishments. You can kind of plan it out if you want. So I already have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. And then I'm just literally going to glue where I want these to go. You don't want to put too much glue just because it'll get too like lumpy and it won't stick very well. And you also want to keep in mind the direction that this is facing in. And there we have it. And since it's hot glue, this all dries very, very quickly. And for anything really small, like little tiny gems or little tiny beads, you might need to use little tweezers to put them in place, and sometimes you might have to use something like super glue that's a little bit stronger. But then you just slide it on your doll, make any adjustments that you want to make. So I'm going to turn this in a little bit. And then I'm just going to slide it on. And voila! Now Odette has a really cute little hairpiece. I wanted to add really quickly that there's a lot of different styles of hairpieces you can make. And a lot of the ones that I use most frequently on my dolls are super, super, super simple, which is why I didn't actually show them in this tutorial. But I literally get little tiny clips like that are about this size. These work great for most fashion dolls, even Barbie, who has a smaller head than like a Bratz doll or Monster High. And I will just glue little like flowers. You can see here I have a bunch of flowers, roses. I will just take some hot glue and glue those little embellishments to a clip. And I also will use little like baby jaw clips. So I get these tiny clips from places like Walmart, and I used to get them from the dollar store, but honestly they're really, really bad quality. The clips don't actually close right, so they slide out of the doll's hair. I have that problem with a few of the clips I've made. I mean, it's no big deal because the hot glue is easy to peel off, so you can just pull off the flower and glue it to something else, but it's really not even worth the $1. The best ones that I've found are from the brand Goody, and I found mine at Kmart. So, and then for American Girl, I like to use these metal clips. So I had these left over from when I went to cosmetology school. They're supposed to be for like pin curls and roller sets, but I have a ton of them, as you can see. And I will glue these things to these for American Girls. I'll like make bows out of ribbon and glue them on. I'll glue like those big flowers up there for American Girls. And it's really easy, and if like you don't like the way it looks, you can just, like I said, peel off the glue. I also have things like these beads, and I don't know what these are called. Someone gave these to me, but basically you can just like wrap them into hair elastics and intertwine them around the hair. And then for ribbon, I get ribbon from all kinds of places. I have like a stockpile in those drawers from places like Walmart, but these are scraps of ribbon. Like I took these colorful things at the top from Bratz boxes. I just use a lot of recycled things and like scraps of fabric I have. Really anything, and like sequins. It's super easy just to glue them to a clip or take a piece of ribbon and glue the flowers to the ribbon and then just tie it around the dolls if you don't want to have like a bulky wire headband. My Snow White over here has snaps glued to the back of her headband. You can't really see, but I took little tiny metal snaps from Walmart and I just measured around her head and I placed the snaps where I thought they should go, and that way I can snap it on and off. I also have done a similar thing with some of my Megara dolls. Basically, there's just so many different things you can do, and something really fancy looking can actually be incredibly simple to make and really cheap to make. I mean, these little flowers over here are pretty expensive for how many you get. I mean, I think I've paid like $4 for maybe 6 fabric flowers. And something else I've done on like this Yasmin doll here, I took some suede cord that I got at Walmart, and I just took some large wooden beads and I like slid them through and then knotted it in the back, so it's like a really boho headband. And it was really easy to make. Sometimes I use chain. I just took a piece of jewelry chain and I like fitted around her head and connected it with like a little jump ring in the back. So now that I made Odette her headband and also a necklace, which I did off camera, she is all set with my other Odette, and I thought I'd take this time to show you some of the other like hair accessories that I've made. So up top you can see a few of my Aurora dolls have them, and I made those in more or less the same way. Some of them you can just glue right onto ribbon like what this Aurora has, and some of them are just hair clips. I have some like different things that I've made for my Pocahontas dolls. And just like I said, gluing them onto clips like I did for this Ariel and for that Ariel. And this is one of my favorite ones. I made this for my Hello, My Name is Yasmin. And then these were actually the first ones I made. Well, this was the first one I made, the very first headband. I found these pink flowers at Walmart in the craft aisle, and I thought, ooh, those are doll size. I could use them for something. And then a few weeks later, when I had gotten Sasha, the idea occurred to me. And you can see I made matching ones for Chic Mystique Yasmin and for Chloe. Most of them are on my Moxie girls. So you can see like Snow White and Cinderella, as we call her, and Aurora. And I have something kind of different for this Ariel doll. It's basically like a flower glued to a clip with pieces of ribbon as sort of like tassel. And these guys all have matching hair clips. She has little hair clips. I actually made this one for my Fashion Snaps Avery, but I thought it matched Brighton better. So yep, and then Ida has some cool ones, and I used like, you can see there's different things like sequins on hers and like roses. So I hope that video helped you out, and if you would like to see pictures of my headbands and other hair accessories that I made, I will link my Flickr account below. Just check out my arts and crafts album for different ideas. Some of them are really simple, some of them are a little bit more involved, like the one I made in this video. But really all you need is some imagination and some hot glue, and you can really do most anything with different types of flowers and gems and whatnot. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.